salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott, and you, my poor unfortunate soul, have wandered onto the Prog Corner. Oh, the YouTube algorithm did you good today. And today, boys and girls, we're talking about one of the big three of Italian prog, Orme, and their brand new album. I'm really excited, man. The big three of Italian prog are, of course, Orme, PFM, Premiata Forneria Marconi, and Banco del Marturo Soccorso. Yeah, that's the big three. They're hard to say, but they're real easy to listen to. And Banco and PFM have both been doing some really cool late era stuff. Leone was kind of the laggard, kind of falling behind, but man, oh man, this new record is fantastic. Leone was formed in 1966 in Venice. Originally, they were a five-piece on their debut album, but they jettisoned the two guys that they didn't really need in the band. They were left with Aldo Tagliapietra on bass and vocals, Antonio Pagliuca on keyboards, and Mickey Di Rossi on drums. What a great three-piece, man. They were able to come up with three of the greatest Italian prog albums of all time. 1972, Uomo di Pezza. Oh, I love this album. I love that artwork. So good. The following year, their absolute masterpiece, Serone Filona. Fantastic. And then 1974, kind of my personal favorite, is Contrapunti. I just love those three albums. They're all 10 out of 10 in my book, man. And then they came out with a couple of, more good albums. And at some point, your boy Tony left the band. He left in 1992. And then in 2009, Aldo left. So when Tony left, he was replaced by Michael Bon, who does a really good job. But then when Aldo left, they were just kind of lost. They didn't really know what to do. They had guys like Alessio Trapella and Aro La Sorla and Jimmy Trottini, or Fabio Trottini and Jimmy Spitaleri, who just a long list of singers, all of whom made you think, where's Aldo, man? But now we've got a new cat. So the new lineup is Mickey Di Rossi, Michael Bon, a new singer, Luca Sparagna. Oh, he's good, man. And they've got a second keyboard player, Luigi Pasqualetto. This technically is their 23rd album, Il Leone e la Bandiera. Now, this has got a weird origin story. This album was originally part of last year's Orme and Friends, which was a 3 CD set. One disc was the new album. The second disc was stuff with former members of Orme. And then the third disc was just other Italian bands. So it got buried. It got completely lost. Technically, this is the band's 23rd album, but this is like the first album of all new material since 2011. It's on something called Orme Records over there in Italy. It's their first for that label. I went on the website and tried to order the vinyl, man. Shipping was like $40. So I guess I'm going to wait to, maybe Wayside or Laser CD will pick it up. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, that's the story here, man. But let's talk about this album and why I am so excited about it. Why am I talking about an album that's technically from 2023? Well, boys and girls, this might be their best album since Aldo left the band. Oh, it's definitely the best album since Aldo left the band, but I'm going to contend that it's the best album since Tony left the band. I think it's their best album since the 1977's Storia Legendo or 1979's Florian. Just fantastic, man. My only complaint about this sucker is that it is a little short. There are 9 songs. It's 45 minutes. But if you take the 2 live tracks off, it's really only 7 tracks, 35 minutes. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But apparently, this might be their final album. They just went out on what they were calling their final tour. So I'm really hoping this is not their swan song, but if it is, man, Orme is going out with a bang, and that's what I want. It starts out with an instrumental track, an overture, if you will. It's 3 minutes long, and it starts with a church organ in G major, and it's just so cool and powerful. And then you put a little synth action over the top. Really great. You got some Moog and piano moving in. Now we're in D minor and we're in a syncopated like 3/4 time. Great keyboard melody sprinkled in here. Even though this is an overture, you're not going to get any themes from, later parts of the album. I wish they'd do that, but they didn't. either way, it is a strong and powerful start to the album. Really like it. Functions great as an intro. The next song is Aqua Luna, and this is where you get to hear Luca sing for the first time. Luca Sparagna. Wow, what a great voice. He sounds a whole bunch like Aldo. Like I said, ever since he left the band, every time I'd hear something the band dropped or I'd watch a YouTube video, the whole time I'm going, where's Aldo, man? But this guy, Luca, he's fantastic. Yeah, his timbre is very similar to Tagliapietra's, but he's just dynamite, man. The song starts with like ocean sounds. You hear seagulls and waves and stuff like that. Acoustic guitar strumming. We're in G, so we go from G to E minor to B minor to D. Yeah, we've seen that chord progression once or twice, right? It's always effective. And then it goes to F, then C, then E minor, B minor, D. So it's just that whole turnaround. Sounds great. The drums start with the Marshall snares, and then finally, like with a minute to go, Mickey DeRossi does the whole kit, and it just sounds amazing. His drums are way up high in the mix all the way through this album. Yeah, I guess I know who the founding member is, right? Next up is Faro e Fuoco. It's 4.5 minutes long, and it starts with its dirty Hammond in A minor. It sounds really cool, lots of reverb, and just nasty and distorted. It's like a blues riff. Kind of Deep Purple meets Emerson, Lake and Palmer, which I love. It's a mid-tempo song in 4/4. Not a whole lot of trickery going on here, but the song morphs and it grows until the vocals finally come in at the 2:30 mark. It's fantastic how we weave blues rock with prog rock throughout this track. Really cool. And yeah, one thing about this track is the vocals are kind of buried in the mix. Yeah, you know Aldo's not in the band. He wouldn't have allowed that. No way, Jose. Next up is Lucioli di Ventro. 6-minute song. Starts out with a beautiful finger-picked acoustic guitar. We're toggling back and forth between D and E minor here. And in the verses, you get some synths swirling on and stuff like that. And then the chorus comes in and you're in B minor. It's a total tonal shift from verse to chorus. Very cool, very stately, very emotional, great vocals here, beautiful melody. And then that Hammond organ hits, man, and it's like, oh man, it's like a punch in the face. It's so great. You get a piano section in the middle after the chorus, very Emersonian. It takes up a big chunk of the song. It's fantastic. The vocals return, and you get a little bit of the pre-chorus, and it jumps right into the chorus, so it's very effective. A lot of backing vocals. Sounds really big, beautiful, amazing. Next up is La Alba della Partenza. What a fabulous song. It's only 4.5 minutes long, but man, they deliver a whole bunch here. Starts with the staccato piano in 7/8 times. So this is probably the proggiest track on the album. You're in C minor here, and yeah, you get the band coming in, you get some backing vocals, and it sounds really cool and powerful. It actually reminds me of Yucca and Chronoship, which is a weird reference to make. I don't understand it. At the 1:45 mark, you get this beautiful piano melody in B flat, and Luca rolling his R's all over the place, man. That's something Aldo would always do, very pronounced with the R's. Luca does the same thing where he rolls them. It just sounds amazing. Yeah, the beginning section, that 7/8 section comes back, and then that backing chorus gets really big and loud and powerful. It's just amazing. What a great track that one is. They're all good, man. Next up is Rosa di Venti. It's almost 5 minutes long. It starts out with piano in G minor and Luca singing, and you're in 6/8 here. You're in G minor throughout this whole section, the verse section, and then the chorus hits, and they move you into from G minor to G major, and oh man, it is just amazing. It sounds so good with this beautiful vocal melody over the top. This is what I love about Italian prog, man. These guys understand melody. They understand chord progressions. The compositions here are just amazing, just so good. You get a whole group vocal thing at the end, almost like a children's choir. It's really effective. It sounds almost like you're in a church. It sounds very holy, celestial. Like the chorus of heaven is just, come down into your living room and you're listening to some awesomeness. So good. And then you get a little cross-faded action into the final track with the more of the ocean noise. You got the seagulls and the waves and stuff. And this is a instrumental here called Caigo. Longest song on the album. It's like 7.5 minutes long, but it is so much fun, man. Starts with these tribal drums. Miki Di Rossi just going nuts, hitting the toms, and just very, very cool rhythmically. You're in E minor here, and occasionally it'll slip to C and A minor, but like 95% of this song, you're right on E minor with some early Cure guitar playing here, like Robert Smith snuck into the studio. It's just incredible. And then about 2/3, 3/4 of the way through this song, the Hammond organ comes in, and it's just so cool, powerful, amazing. Moments like that is why we listen to prog rock. It is just incredible. Next up, you get 2 live tracks, like I said. They're both around 5 minutes long. You get a live version of Rasa di Vente and a live version of Aqua Luna, both songs off of this album. So they're not really necessary. Unfortunately, you know, being only 35 minutes long and kind of padding it out with those live tracks, it's going to impact my score. But how much? How much? You know, honestly, if there were one more song on here, this might be a 10. But I'm giving it 9 out of 10. It's absolutely amazing. If you like Italian prog, man, do yourself a favor. Try to find this thing. It is available on streaming services. I went on YouTube Music and iHeart Music and Pandora and Spotify to check. And yes, it is on there, either as this album or Leone and Friends. So if you like this video, boys and girls, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you really like it a lot, hit that subscribe button. I'm getting close to 10,000 subs, so I am going to start begging for subs. I hate doing it. Everybody else does it. I like to be a little bit different. And if you really, really like Italian prog, consider becoming a member. You can be a member of the Aficionado Club for $1.99. The Connoisseur Club's $4.99 a month. Support the good work we're doing here. Support Prog Rock. Absolutely. And just remember, every Friday at noon over on Prog Radio, it's the Prog Corner playlist where we play all the stuff that I've been talking about on the channel all week. And then every Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern, it's the Sunday Prog stream right here on the Prog Corner, where me and a select group of panelists pick a topic and we just go over. And this Sunday, it's going to be, what is it this Sunday? The Mount Rushmore of prog rock guitarists. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace in the Middle East. God save the king. Save that king. Save King Chucky. He needs your help. Yeah, he does. He's got the cancer. I'm getting all worked up about it. That boy needs to come to America. Yes, he does. Send King Chucky to America and we'll get him well. We got some good doctoring going on over here, and we can do some spells and incantations. We can say some prayers, lay some hands on him, drink some poison, and dance with snakes. We're going to be dancing with snakes, and King Chucky's going to be all right. I will see you punks Sunday for the Mount Rushmore of prog rock guitarists. It's going to be awesome. Peace.